This is not a metaphor. This is not a story passed down. The testimony you are about to hear was given publicly, on the record, before the government of Canada. Indigenous women and families testified in the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. Their words were acknowledged. They were witnessed. They were photographed. And they were never resolved. You asked us to speak in public rooms under crescent flags and borrowed light. You said, tell us everything. So we told you names, dates, nights. We didn't bring metaphors. We brought files and bones. This wasn't anger, wasn't rumor. This was sworn, this was known. This wasn't private, this wasn't hidden. This wasn't whispered out of you. This was entered into record in the name of you. They said we hear you on camera. They said your truth will stand. So when we say you held the truth, this is what that means by hand. You didn't hear it secondhand. You didn't meet us in the dark. You looked straight into the record and put your hands on our hearts. You held the truth when it was heavy, when it stood where you stood. You stepped inside our ceremony and said you understood. You held the truth when it was sacred, when it asked you to change. But truth don't end in empathy, and silence still has a name. She wore regalia sewn by hand, every beat a witness mark. Not costume, not display, but law stitched in the dark. That cloth carried jurisdiction, that thread was time and land. You didn't hold a grieving woman, you held responsibility in your hands. That moment entered history, not story, not belief. You don't get to exit truth just because you felt the grief. You held the truth when it was public, with cameras, names, and dates. You took the weight of generations and called it reconciliation's face. You held the truth in daylight, where denial has no ground. And if justice followed knowing, we wouldn't still be counting now. This isn't about forgiveness. This isn't about tone. This is about what happens after you say we know. Because once you know, you are responsible. You held the truth when it was undeniable, when it stood in front of you. You don't get to call it history when it's still unfinished truth. You held the truth in ceremony, not metaphor, not doubt. And if reconciliation was real, we wouldn't still be counting them now. We didn't ask you to feel it, we asked you to fix it. Truth doesn't need your tears, it needs your systems to stop killing us. When a government accepts testimony, it accepts responsibility. Knowing is not the end of truth, it is the beginning of obligation. This is what happens when obligation is ignored.